Bam. Bam.
It's a podcast about
nothing. Have you seen Seinfeld?
Yes.
Nope, not yet. No, he can. He can. Okay, so let me just give you guys a quick rundown. First off, excited to have you. This is going to be fun. This is Cigar Talk Live. It's our Tuesday podcast.
Good. Oh, that's audio clipping.
Okay, I'll drop that down there. That's why we do this little pre-tester. So, we're just going to sit here. We're going to smoke cigars and we're going to drink drinks. We have some very, very important topics to go over. Questions that people haven't really been faced with on camera before. We just big character testing stuff here. And in 2 minutes, we're just going to be able to smoke a cigar with the people who are across the country watching us right now.
in there.
Exactly.
Up to 11 people watch this. Yeah. When my mom watches, we hit 11.
Then we're done.
Yeah.
Then we shut it off and we're good. How is this audio coming in, Pop? Just to make sure we're good on that side. We got 1 minute and 30 remaining.
Why are you asking me that question? Am I supposed to know the answer?
Well, because you can just turn the volume on right there. Let me just make sure, Pablo, I'm going to have you come over this direction. Mm-hmm. We're going to get in real snug, real tight.
Am I supposed to know the answer?
Perfect. Just turn the volume on right there. Adrian, you're looking good.
He's always looking good.
Rick, you're looking good there as well. I'm pretty sure most of us are in focus, but it's all looking pretty good right now. We got about 1 minute left. One thing to remember is we're just running on basically, even though we have 3 mics, each one of these are picking up for a different device. So what we'll need to do is just project through it. Just talk through the wall. Yeah, exactly. And that's it. Pretty simple, boys.
Do not worry about watching your language. There's really no subjects that are off limits. If you think that you feel like you're going to be professional for a minute, go ahead and go out in the hallway, shake it off, come back in. Yeah. We will have none of that shit in here. This is we will not tolerate any of that stuff.
Don't touch that shit.
20 seconds. I cannot wait to recap this weekend's get together. I just wish Widra, we might need to pull you on here. Okay, we got 10 seconds there.
I'm telling you, he's going to finish that drink. He's going to trip over all of that camera stuff, and this show's over.
2, 1, bam. Boys, we did it.
What up?
We started another one. Okay, so here's how we start. You ready?
Here's how we do it. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
Just like it's complicated. This actually, that's officially a record here. We've had the 5 high fives. We've never had that. We've had 4, but we've never had 5.
Yeah.
This has already started out as a record
This is the biggest
breaker.
podcast, and actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this here so it hits us with a little light on the backside. Okay, so let's just go ahead and say welcome to everyone who comes in. This is Cigar Talk Live. This is our Tuesday get-together where we get to sit here and smoke a cigar with you beautiful people. And this week we are joined by beautiful people that is not ourselves, so thank you for joining us all the way through. If you like this, drop a comment, ask some questions. We might get to it if it's good enough. But importantly, share this to all your friends.
Absolutely.
That's it.
All right, we got to do some intros here.
We do.
Yes.
And let's start with someone that I think our audience doesn't know. Rick,
Yes, sir.
welcome in, man.
Appreciate it. Glad to be here.
Will you just give someone 30 seconds on who you are and why they need to care?
Who I am. I am Rick Webster. I am migrating from New Braunfels, Texas to Fort Worth, Texas.
Man, you were so close.
Love it. It's an easy drive, easier flight. And they need to know me because I know you guys. And personally, I've known Adrian 20 plus years.
Something like that, yeah.
So we've grown up together from boys to men. So
Nice.
Hey, that's a good start.
absolutely.
And Adrian can't sing worth a shit, so it wasn't actually Boys to Men that he was part of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Oh, we'll get to
Yeah,
some
yeah.
questions on that
There's
side
lots
as
of
well.
questions
And then to my right, we have the Pablo Richard Schneider, but they don't use the last name Schneider. Pablo, owner of Patoro, a dear friend of ours, someone that I am just truly blessed to call a friend and sit at this table with. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Who are you and why should they care? It's a pretty quick and easy conversation.
So yeah, I'm the co-owner of Patoro Cigars, and we're trying to produce the best cigars in the world. That's the goal.
Cheers.
You're doing a pretty darn good job at it, I will say.
Yeah. Well, what I would say is, in our little world, you did produce the finest cigar in the industrial world last year with the cigar you guys are smoking, the Terre Blanche.
That's true. That's true. I'm very proud of it.
Adrian,
Thank you for that.
I know.
how we sitting on tequila over there?
Oh, I mean, this is a brand new bottle. So,
And you're sitting on tequila, so why don't you guys get pouring that? Let's give some shout outs. Holy crap, the entire internet is watching.
Give this a share right now.
Larry Adams from LaGrange, Missouri. Rodney Smith has figured out how to finally get over the fence between Oklahoma and Texas.
Nice.
So he's worked his way in. We of course have Hollywood is in the house. We have Mark Meyer in the house. We have all kinds of folks. Sean Ratz, love that guy. Sean Ratz is in the house. Julie is here in between tax time. And let's see who else we have. Chris Pennington, who is on his way to Belize. And Ron Hancock, who is not any taller tonight than he was yesterday.
And that, well, I will tell you what, that was a segment of Pops just reading names off to everyone. To me, Ron Hancock looks about 6'4" today because he gave me this Patoro Latino from the first time you were in the lounge.
And now here's where I feel horrible, and I'm just going to go full disclaimer. Ron gave me one of those cigars the other day, and then said, "When you see Pablo, will you please give him one?" So he gave me two. Of course, I'm not going to let him sit on the cabinet or on the counter because somebody will take them. So I took it home, and so now I have two.
And you
So Ron, if you want to make sure one gets back here, I'll make sure to return yours. But these are a couple years old since we've had the Platino.
2018, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
18.
So this is from the first box.
Nice.
Yeah.
Rick, have you smoked? You smoked a Terre Blanche tonight.
I have.
What do you think? What's it hitting you with? Or have you smoked Patoro before? What's kind of your takeaway?
So, I have had the orange label. I don't know the name of it.
Series B.
It's Series B, and this is outstanding. It's smooth.
Thank
The
you.
pull, the draw, and the way the smoke comes out is exactly what I want. Right. So I'm not a connoisseur by any need, but I love smoking cigars, and this is right up my alley.
Thank you. Thank you.
Great stuff.
What's up, Adrian?
yeah, man. Adrian from Cigars and Guns. What's up? Thanks for joining tonight. So this is our virtual cigar talk, right? This is the kind of environment that you would have if you're an industrial. I would say pretty much industrial, because if you go to any other lounge, you're not going to have this. You're not going to have this caliber of people sitting here. We've got Mike here off the camera,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, I'm okay.
yeah, there you go.
Mike, keep holding that wall up, baby. You're doing great.
I thought that was water.
Not all water in Texas is brown, but that one was.
We have cheers at the beginning
Yeah.
of the show.
Cheers.
Salute. Thanks for being
Salute,
here, guys.
salute, salute.
Okay, and
Cheers to you all, guys.
now is when the cigar talk goes away and the real talk rolls. It rears
That's
its
it.
ugly face into it.
That's right.
What I want to do is we broke a record, I think last week or the week before, with 200 comments. So let's do the race to 225 and let's just give some stuff away.
Let's do it.
Right? Just start dumping comments and questions and anything, any way you want to steer the conversation, then let it rock and roll. Sean Ratz is smoking the Patoro torpedo looking thing right now.
Wow, he has a good taste.
Yeah, that's the Brazil. I was stuck between the Brazil and the Gran Añejo Reserva, and I went with the Gran Añejo Reserva.
Good choice too.
Yeah, yeah,
Good choice too.
outstanding. So this actually started, for you guys that are new here, actually started as Cigars 101, and we pretty much covered all the bases that we could think of, and then it just turned into guys having a conversation. We switched the name to Cigar Talk Live. As I mentioned, we get up to 11 people that watch this show, and we will actually answer questions in real time. So we have opportunities to ask a guy that's been not only, and one of the things I appreciate the most about Pablo, it's one thing to commit to owning a company, it's one thing to commit to developing great cigars, but to show his commitment, he left this wonderful life in Switzerland and went to the Dominican and actually worked there. And you spent time, you did everything from sweeping the floors, you stayed with the people, you lived with them, you did what they do. For how long?
For a year.
For a year.
Yes.
1 year going from Switzerland to this third world country and working at a field and working at the farm and blending cigars and all that other stuff. Had to be an incredible experience.
Absolutely.
Here's a question coming in. Okay. The cigar talk's making me feel a little funky, but I got a real serious question.
Gotcha.
Best barbecue in Texas. Okay, because we got New Braunfels coming in. You had some Hutchins. Now
Yeah.
Hutchins was a little bit old when we ate it at the house.
But I liked it.
What's the best barbecue in Texas? Do you think?
Black's Barbecue in Lockhart.
Okay,
Lockhart, Texas. Yeah.
where is Lockhart, Texas?
East of
Right outside of Austin.
Yeah.
Okay,
Southeast.
Yeah,
Blacks. Is it Terry Blacks?
yeah.
Okay, so I've heard of this place. These
Is it
become
chain or
No.
single place?
It's
Family
single
owned?
place. It's family owned. I think they opened one in downtown Dallas.
Yep,
But
in Deep Ellum.
It's not the same.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Terry Blacks. What do you say, Rick?
All right, so I've got to represent the area. I would tell you, up and coming, 2M Smokehouse in San Antonio is great, but I hear there's some great barbecue at Panther City somewhere in the DFW area.
Okay.
I'm not trying, but Lack is good as well. Panther City is what I've been told at the data
Huh.
center.
I've heard, and then also excited because they're coming to your neighborhood. Hurtado's is supposed to be next level, and also has they do a lot of Mexican dishes.
Oh, it's
And-
right up Adrian's ballpark.
Yeah.
I've not been there. Those are the ones that do the tacos.
They do some birria tacos, but
Yeah.
they don't do. It's not like the place that we did them. I mean, it's Texas style barbecue as the meat inside
Oh,
there.
interesting.
You remember those tacos we had?
Oh yeah, man.
Those things.
Yeah. Oh,
I
yeah, man.
remember this.
Oh, yeah.
Different. Amazing.
What's the best thing you've eaten in Texas?
Barbecue at Casa Frakes.
Yeah. Well, that
AKA Hutchins.
AKA Hutchins Barbecue and Cadillac Barbecue are two of my favorites here.
Cadillac.
Yeah.
That was the first.
That was the first time.
Yeah.
That was the first Texas barbecue you had.
Yeah.
With the beef rib.
Yeah.
That was like
Yeah.
It was amazing.
he
I
ordered
took
like a
all in.
tourist. Tell him what you ordered. Do you remember?
I ordered one from everything.
There you go.
Yeah.
Some burnt ends? You get some burnt ends?
Burnt ends,
Oh, yeah.
pork ribs, beef ribs.
Yes.
The
Yeah,
beef
those-
ribs are this big.
Dinosaur ribs.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Baby backs?
Baby backs. There were some baby backs. There were, real babies that were in there. probably.
Chris is checking in, and I will attest to this. Chris Coulter's checking in. 1050 barbecue is really good over on 75. It is good.
Franklin's.
Franklin's is good.
Yeah.
Yep.
What I like Hutchins is it doesn't play all the games. You know, where it's you can just get it any time.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a line out the door, but I went to pick it up at 8 o'clock the other night, and they still had barbecue. It wasn't this get it 11,
out. Yeah,
sold out by 2. Just make enough fucking barbecue, and then you don't have to worry
Yeah,
about it.
keep it simple.
Yeah.
So Mark Myers coming in saying happy 308 day. I'm thinking that has something to do with guns and not
Mark. Yeah.
cigars.
Oh yeah. 308.
All right.
Good.
Rick, are you into guns as well? Like Adrian? Because you work together at USAA?
Yes, we did. And so, we had a dream way back before food trucks and all that were a novelty. We were going to do a traveling cigar lounge.
Yeah.
When was that? Like early 2000s.
Early 2000s. Yeah.
Right. And so my introduction, honestly, to guns was my wife was a deputy sheriff. And so that was interesting, right? And so I got into that, and when she went through the academy, I had to be the tough guy, and everything she went through, I went through. It's sprayed me with pepper spray.
Oh,
Joke-
no.
and it was
I'm
horrible,
out.
but you're trying to be tough, right? You're the man of the house, supposedly. So that was really kind of my introduction to guns, and then meeting up with Adrian and understanding his passion for that has precluded me to want to learn more and more. I mean, I think I've only got maybe 4 guns, right? My favorite is the Judge, because that thing is awesome. And snakes in Texas under a pool deck, you can't really take a shotgun, so you need something you can hold, and it does the job. But it's got a hell of a kick. So yeah.
What do they use for snakes in Switzerland?
To kill them?
Yeah. Do you have snakes in Switzerland?
Very little, but we do have, but you don't see them.
What, garter snakes? You got like little baby snakes out there?
Exactly.
Well, y'all should have vipers, right? I mean, in Italy,
But,
when I grew up in Italy,
yeah.
we had vipers. That
Yeah.
was the predominant snake there.
Yeah.
So you probably got them in
Yeah,
Switzerland.
same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so you have real snakes?
Yeah, we do, but you don't see them a lot. It's not.
Mm.
Yeah, and we don't eat them like others.
Like they do in Texas. Welcome to Texas. Rattlesnake, shoot it, eat it, let's go.
Make some boots, make a belt.
Yeah, the belt,
Yeah.
that's different. And
Yeah.
belt for the watch as well, we do.
Do you
That's
really?
more alligator, but snakes
That's
as well.
right. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, these guys are all in for they're saying that they want to do a Cyrus watch giveaway.
I'm down for that.
It's going to take more than comments, dickheads.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Lots of comments.
Yeah, we better get to 1 million or so.
Yeah.
And then we can start talking about it.
Yeah, we gotta monetize this thing first.
Yeah, no shit. Start sending stars or Venmo me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you checked your balance though? Every time someone says stars, you get money.
No, you don't. Well, you do. Maybe you can attest to this, but I can't see my balance until there's a certain amount. It doesn't cash out. So these people are sending stars, but it says I haven't met certain thresholds to be monetized. So you guys are just buying Zuckerberg another yacht right now.
Yeah.
But keep sending the stars because at some point,
That's Rick's bonus.
I'm not mad at that.
Yeah.
That's who I work for. So
I got some questions for you, dickhead.
Yeah. While we're talking about our friends at Facebook, So-
Chris Coulter just sent some stars. You're welcome.
yeah,
Thank you.
I just give back in the day when I used to coach Brandon's football, I would give him a helmet sticker. Now I can't get him to stick on his head, but I just give him a little helmet sticker, and he just runs around like he's accomplished something.
It was great.
It was
Made me
great.
feel good.
Helmet stickers make you feel great.
We should do helmet stickers here.
We really should. We have people that need to wear helmets.
Yeah.
There's some people that definitely need to wear helmets.
After 8 p.m., probably.
Yeah, for sure.
We could issue and rent out helmets here. We're talking. This is how we come up with these brilliant ideas.
Oh, why not?
Just write it here.
No holes in the wall, all right? You don't even run in that.
We could do, but we could do 8 p.m. You put the helmets out, and then everyone does Oklahoma drill.
I like
There you
that.
go.
I like that.
Right?
There you go.
Good old fashioned. Do you know what Oklahoma drill is?
No.
Okay. This I'm gonna. Oh really?
You don't know?
Oklahoma drill is probably the best football drill ever created.
Yep.
Right? You take 2 guys and you lay them down, helmet to helmet. Now you can space them out, but helmet to helmet, make sure nobody gets hurt, but they do get physical. And then the coach just decides which guy's going to get the ball. And he drops the ball and blows the whistle, and that guy's got to get up and get through the cones. And this guy's got to get up and take his ass down. I think it's perfect.
That's great.
And doing
just
it with
physical.
10-year-olds, 11-year-olds, 12-year-olds screaming at them, it's the best. I love that time.
Oh, yeah.
Yelling at 8-year-olds is just nothing better. I taught more 8-year-olds to 10-year-olds cuss words that their parents hadn't even thought of yet.
You remember the stuff you used to say? Do you remember?
I
When we played the 49ers?
remember. Yeah, I remember going into the huddle, calling timeout, going to the huddle, and calling you guys all pussies.
Get your heads out of your asses and quit being a bunch of pussies. I was 12 years old. This is what he said. Not just to me, to all of us. I
But
mean,
they were motivated.
But it
And
helped.
motivation.
It was
There you
about
go.
motivation.
There you go.
Yeah.
Didn't help.
We need
Didn't
to
Yeah.
do more of that.
Yeah, they didn't invite
We
me
do.
back.
We do.
Kids aren't the same as they are today, though.
We're soft.
What
They're
doesn't
so
kills
soft.
you makes you stronger. Eh?
That's right.
Amen.
That is
Amen.
exactly
It
right.
did kill your ego, for sure. What did you grow up playing? I mean, you look like
Soccer.
you played football.
Soccer.
Soccer and tennis.
That I wouldn't have guessed. I wouldn't have
No.
guessed that.
Ben,
Yeah, and skiing.
Ben,
And badminton?
Badminton.
Polo? What kind of physical stuff did you do?
Yeah, you're right. That's all like.
Did you
pussy
ever get hit in the
sports.
head?
I agree.
You never got hit in the head from your sports or
I
anything?
don't know. I think once since I feel a little better.
Oh, I think a little contact's good for you, baby.
Sean Ratz's comment, I think, can just be answered with too soon. He said there's a Mazepin helmet that's sitting around not being used right now. Too soon for you F1 fans.
Lauren Burton, if you want to send that helmet in here, we've got a,
We got a place
use
for it. We got a place for it.
Yeah, we're gonna put it in a nice display.
What do you? Okay, so now what happens? Because those who are not watching, Cyrus, Pablo's other company, Watch Business, is a sponsor of the Haas F1 team. They
Yeah.
just released. You guys just released Mazepin.
It's true, yeah. He's not going to be part of the team anymore. For Bahrain, the test drive, it's going to be Pietro Fittipaldi.
Is he going to get the seat?
So the test drive, we don't know what's going to happen in the future, but Bahrain test drive is going to be Pietro. And then let's see if there will be another driver or Pietro.
I think there's something magic about a Fittipaldi Schumacher team.
Yeah, it is.
Because those are two dynasty names.
Yeah,
Yeah,
totally
for
agree. It
sure.
will be exciting.
Oh, it's so interesting what's happening right now. You know, and especially with the Haas team.
Absolutely.
How much of your time is spent with the things that come around being a part of F1? Be it conversations or marketing efforts or being connected to the team?
I would say it's a little bit every day. You know, a couple of conversations, a couple of emails. Yeah, I'm in contact with us every day actually.
Wow.
Even if it's for a little bit, but it's daily.
Well,
Yeah.
Gunther, if you're watching too, yep, cheers
Of course,
to you.
Of course, Gunther's watching. What the else is he going to be doing? He's going to be watching the show.
Yeah.
Gene Haas probably catches like usually 15, 20 minutes of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he just
Nice.
he
Yeah.
just in for the autographs. you
Yeah.
know?
So, should we get into any of the questions?
I think that would keep us from talking.
Yes, I think you're right. So, gentlemen, we have a series of 3 questions that are asked every week of every guest that is brought in here, whether they wanted to come in here or not. And we've had guests that have not wanted to be here. One of them is our own beautiful Nicole. Brandon did what we like to call around here dick move and had her sit down to just, I just want to see if the camera's in focus and go. And she was, I mean, if we would have told her that she was coming in to do this show, she would have just started crying because she just doesn't, she's not camera, she doesn't want to be in front of the camera. Yeah. Well, Brandon just said, sit down, go. So we had her on. It was great. But we ask everybody the same.
You hear the beep of the bus?
Yes.
Notice he didn't let. He didn't let.
Oh
her-
no!
He was trying to get her to smoke a cigar. Yeah. he
Oh
just-
no! I was trying to. The peer pressure to get her to smoke was incredible.
Adrian, why don't you ask the question?
So we have a series of 3 questions, and we're going to ask. We'll ask you first, Rick.
All right.
So these 3. This will give you time to think about it.
Yeah.
You know, because
You nervous?
He's from a foreign country, so you never know if he understands it right out of the gate.
He's nervous.
Okay.
Yes, I'm getting
Question number 1: does Sasquatch exist?
Sasquatch exists. Absolutely.
Boom! You coming in like you had a sighting.
Well, you know, I've lived in a few places. And one of the places growing up overseas, my parents were military, we visited London, the first Boy Scout camp. And, you know, it rains every day over there. So between seeing big footprints when you're out doing that and trying to find the Loch Ness Monster, the shit's stuck in my head. So,
You feel that friendship falling apart right now?
He doesn't. He's not until he shoots it. He's not buying that there is one.
He wants to mount it on his wall. So.
What do you think?
What's the question?
Look how cool he looks.
Just even. I don't know what they call it in Switzerland.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeti.
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 Yes, I believe in Yeti.
There you go.
Right there. That's 2 I didn't think were coming in.
Yeah.
Yeti,
And,
yes.
he's still in the ice, deep down there.
Oh, he thinks
And
he's an iceberg. Oh, so global warming's gonna bring him back.
There you go.
Yeah, one day.
Yeah.
It's like Encino Man.
He's gonna come walking right through Olten, Switzerland, just waving at everybody, just wanting something to eat.
The Yeti exists.
The
Yeti exists.
That's
a double pointer. I didn't see that
with
one coming.
Adrian, he's now the minority. So if this was a democratic, scientific discussion,
He'd be out the island.
He's out.
I'd be out.
you're pack your stuff.
So what we have against us, though, we have two. These are like foreign,
Oh, now I'm
right?
foreign.
It's outside of the U.S.
Oh,
That's
wow! I thought we were going to say the F word here.
Yeah.
No. Which is we've never had before. Everyone was like, "Well, I live in Oklahoma, Texas, whatever. Sasquatch either yes or doesn't exist." But that's an interesting point coming from outside the United States.
Not only that, not hillbillies.
Right.
Good point.
Right? I thought
Good point.
Sasquatch was just more of kind of a country folk type of thing.
Yeah.
You grew up in Italy. You're in Switzerland. This is an international
Yeah.
thing, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
He saw footmarks.
Foot marks. That's right.
I mean, he's in big tech. You'd think they would censor this type of conversation.
Oh, we've been kicked off already. I can see it right now.
You might get shut down.
That light's not usually red. What's going on here? Hold on, Zuckerberg. We're not to the other question yet.
Yeah. The next one's going to get rougher.
You think so?
No.
No.
No, I think it's
Okay.
good.
So we're just blowing through the questions right now. But here comes question number 2. And we're also interested in all 14 of you folks that are out there. Let us know where you're at on the whole Bigfoot, Sasquatch, Yeti thing.
Like 1 to 10.
Well, yeah, give us a 1 to 10. 10, he's probably on your porch right now. 1, you're Adrian, right?
What? No, hold it.
think
Adrian, where
Adrian's-
you sit? Where are you sitting?
Scale of 1 to 10.
I don't believe in them.
He's
You're
a
a
0.
you're a 1?
He's going to be in hard 0.
Oh, you're a 0.
Zero until I see it.
That's a 1.
True believer.
And none of this. Okay, so we have a member here, Mark Mcclurkin. He's a actual Sasquatch
Hunter,
right?
yep.
And I mean, 100% he'll tell you they exist. He has some land in Oklahoma where he says they throw rocks at you and they grunt and do all these noises and stuff. I'm not looking for a rock thrown at me or a grunt, right? Because that could be, again, like I've said, his buddies throwing rocks and shit. I have to see it for myself to believe it.
Trader's with you. Trader's a 1 or a 0.
Trader's a 1 or a 0.
He's way down.
He's digital on that whole thing.
That is. You know what? It's interesting. Where are you at on the? We haven't done the 1 to 10. Where are you at?
1 to 10, I'm an 8.
Oh, you're that
Yeah.
deep?
Love it.
Yeah.
Well, he's got
He watches too much TV.
Well, he's got
Yeah.
Mark, right? And then
All
you
right.
had, and you
I
got
would trust
the
Mark
whole watermelon.
to watch my kids when they're growing up, and I trust him. So if he says that he heard the thing on the other side of the tree, I believe him.
Hang on. What about this whole watching the kids thing?
I would let him watch the kids.
Yeah, mind you, our babysitter that we had dropped Nathan on his head, and
He
made
bounced
it so
back.
she fed me full grapes. So when I threw up, there were full grapes coming out. Okay, so
You both made it, didn't you?
yeah,
And you're tougher for it.
Where am I at? I'm sitting about I go like a 5.5.
There you go.
Oh, that's
I want to believe
That's
more,
just-
but
you need
but
to
logic.
see it as well.
I'm still more on the side of there's something out there we haven't discovered that's probably big. I just don't know if it's that. Well, I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
This is a guy that went on a diving trip and was with a guy that discovers species that had never been found underwater every time he goes out. So what's the chances that there's that this could happen?
In all fairness, they were already species. It's just these scientists. Look at these things. This actually, if I showed you a photo of this, and you said, and I asked you, does this exist?
That's an alien.
This is actually more, I think, less believable than Bigfoot. That, you see that right there? That thing, type in nudibranch.
Okay.
That he found a whole bunch of. And to that point, I think you're right. He found a whole bunch of these species. They're little sea animals. Let's
Yeah,
get
so
to-
if you showed somebody a picture and go, that's in the ocean, how many people are going to believe you? If they've
100%.
never seen, Adrian's never seen one.
Adrian, did you type in nudibranchs?
Is that what he's looking at?
Yeah. You think that exists?
No. I mean, do they glow like that? Is that like the normal color?
It's unbelievable. Yeah. They're only about this big. They're like little sea worms.
Look at jellyfish.
No, that actually
who-
exists.
Look who's in. Henry. Our tour guide at Drew Estates the time we went down there in 2015.
You were kidding me.
What's up, Henry? How are you?
What's up, Henry?
Say hi to him in his foreign.
No, that's you.
Oh, good day, mate. How are you, buddy?
All right, let me make sure
That's
you're
my
still in
fluent
French.
Spanish, by
Pablo,
the way.
slide over here a little bit. There
Okay,
you go.
so question number 2. Ghosts exist or not? What do they call ghosts in Switzerland?
Geist.
Geist.
So very
Ooh,
close.
That sounds cool.
Very close. Geist sounds cooler.
Yeah.
Poltergeist. What does poltergeist mean?
Oh, interesting.
I know.
Shit. I thought we were close.
I thought we were close.
What's polter mean?
Polter evening is normally the evening that you do before a wedding. You know, the last night with the guys, you do a polter event.
The poltergeist. Oh, the tree came alive.
It's a
at night.
bachelor party full of ghosts.
There
Yes.
we go.
Yes.
What a translation.
Are you familiar with that movie, Poltergeist?
No.
Oh,
Yeah, it'll scare the hell out of you.
made me afraid of trees.
Okay, so
Oh,
Trader
it's
just went 0 Sasquatch, but he's 10 on the ghosts. Where are you at on ghosts?
On ghosts, man, I would probably tell you maybe a 2 or 3. I'm not big on the ghosts because of all the dramatization on TV where they're trying to ghost hunters, and it's just like, come on, man, you're blowing it out. So it made it less real for me. So
Less
I'm
real.
on the ghosts, yeah.
So now we've had people that have said ghosts, no, haven't seen it. Spirits, believe in spirits.
Yeah.
So what do you think about the whole spirit
The
concept?
spirit thing I would go with, right? Being somewhat religious, I would go with the spirits, but the ghost and haunting you and
You're here and even dropping comments, making sure everyone knows you don't believe.
Okay, so Pablo, geists, yes or no?
No, I'm about the 2 as well.
Really?
Ghost, yes. Yeah.
Wydra, you awake?
Well, yes, I am.
You're gonna have to get the paddles out for this guy.
The only time I know about a ghost is when I watch them on Saturday morning cartoons.
He's like Chris Pennington. He is Chris Pennington, right?
He is Chris
My
Pennington.
favorite ghost.
Casper's his favorite ghost.
Oh my God! I'll tell you what.
Trader says spirit 100%.
okay.
All right, gentlemen.
Henry's coming into us from Nicaragua. What do you think down in what do you think about ghosts down in Nicaragua? Is there a different
there are
feeling?
more there.
I bet you it's a little different.
I mean, I think Esteli, the city of Esteli, the logo is a little witch, little bruja. And it's a cool little design that they put together. And then they also have this legend of like a horse-faced demon. I can't remember what the name of the deal is, but that's part of the folklore down there. I think there is.
They're in it. They believe it.
Yeah.
That's a big part of it. Oh yeah. So we've got ghost, spirit. Yeah, a lot of people are in on the spirit train. I gotta say.
I noticed one thing. I'm good at making just global observations. Most of you guys are really low on your drinks.
There you go, Adrian.
So I don't
Turn it out,
know.
brother.
Thank you.
Let's go. That's good tequila, by the way.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Adrian.
Really nice tequila.
That's the rocks.
That's the rocks.
Yeah.
Terramana, onion.
Oh, that's whose that is?
Oh, really? That's the rocks?
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, I can smell what he's cooking there.
That's it.
That is.
What are
good
you
stuff.
doing over there?
I'm still working on my.
He's got 2 glasses over there.
Okay, so I'm
He's a
pretty
good
sure
Here, let's
this will test if your company has any sort of filters out there. But Trader wanted to just chime in on this whole horse-faced demon thing, and he said that's Nancy. That's Nancy Pelosi, the horse-faced demon, right there. We're gonna see if we get pulled for that one. That's probably
This is
Censorship.
yeah, that's gonna do it.
this is all based on facts. So we're talking about ghosts. We're
hold
talking
on.
about Sasquatch.
Where are you going?
You know where I'm going.
Go for it.
Look up UFOs. Rick. UFOs.
Uh-oh.
See, they live in the mountains in Switzerland. So I'm
Matterhorn?
Matterhorn's like their base. That's where they get their service done.
Rick, where you at?
On UFOs. Ooh, man. That's a tough discussion. You're still going to be friends?
Why is that a tough discussion?
Good.
I kind of believe in UFOs, man. There's some stuff that goes on in the skies that's just unexplainable, and that might be after a few adult beverages and a few cigars that makes me want to believe in UFOs.
Did you experience that yourself?
I've seen them, you know. I mean, dude, I was a Boy Scout, and we looked up and
God damn, I want to know what Boy Scout group this guy was in.
Hey,
They're standing in one guy's putting plaster in the Bigfoot thing, and the other guy's going, did you see that?
I want to have the same mushrooms, man.
I can attest to a few things, you know. It might have been some of the Chernobyl radiation getting to me while I was over there. Who knows? But to believe we're the only ones that exist in this universe is, you know, a little daunting. Got to be someone else out there.
So aliens, not necessarily UFOs, or
Well, how did they
UFOs
get here?
and aliens.
Well, it's got to be both, right?
You're saying they're here.
Yeah, they're 1-in-1 ratio. They're together.
Ooh.
I
Whoa.
don't know.
Ooh, that sounds like he's kind of in that 7-8
There's
territory.
aliens here, 100%.
Yeah, my wife is an alien now, but that's just because she's got a green card. I mean, yeah, those are the aliens you believe in. I mean, you lived in El Paso, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, I see them every day.
Yeah, same every day. They're not even off the ground.
Sighting, another sighting. Yep. Where do you guys stand? Where do you stand?
Listen, I've never seen a UFO. That's my problem. But why not? And I hope they will take me to Mars one day because I want to go to Mars.
Nice.
Yeah.
The chicks are finer on Mars.
Yeah, I heard too, man.
Yeah.
We go together, right?
It's a whole new market for your watches.
Exactly.
He's going to get off the spaceship and go, do you guys tell time? Because look at this timepiece.
But you know what? We have a Cyrus Mars.
Oh, yes. Total Recall.
We have a watch with the planet Mars in it, and it turns at the same speed as Mars in universe.
Really?
It's the first Martian complication done by Cyrus. It's true.
Is that the first Martian complication period?
Ever.
And
You don't need it, but it's cool.
The next viewer who shares gets a watch.
Yeah. Okay, hang on.
If somebody walks an alien in here right now, they're getting the watch.
I love Pablo, but I will kick his ass and give you his watch. What does a Martian complication kind of cost for somebody just interested in tracking the phases of?
And a complication is because you guys made the watch so damn complicated, right?
Yeah.
That you had to solve the problem. And the problem was somebody said, we should have a watch that has the orbit of Mars. And you guys thought that was a good idea. What does that cost to whip that up?
The thing was, we did the first 3D moon phase, okay? It's a little ball, 6 millimeters diameter. We engraved the moon phase by hand. I think 85% of the surface is no. So we engraved that. And after that, we needed to do a new edition. So we say we wanted to put a new planet in it.
What, you just colored the moon red?
It's not. No, the ball is a little bit bigger, as Mars is a little bit bigger. We painted it that reddish color. And there is a picture from taken by NASA from the Mars face, and we painted that Mars face on that little planet that is in the watch. And you know the name is Cyrus, and Cyrus the Great always said he wants to conquer Mars one day. And we took that story from the history, and that's why we took it. So there is a link with Cyrus the Great and Mars. And the planet is not the same size as the moon.
See, I was going to go for the Mars watch, but I think I'm going to hold out for Saturn. Because I think that would be cool with the ring going around the wrist
Yeah,
and
that
stuff.
would be.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. I know Rats is probably looking on the Cyrus site to buy that Mars watch. What's that cost somebody?
We are at about 110,000.
So that's we're not talking pesos, folks.
Oh, trader, I need that watch. If you wouldn't have gotten stage 4 cancer, all of the amount of money that your insurance has now paid these doctors, you could have
just told
you
me
could
the
have bought
watch.
Mars.
The watch could have just cured the whole damn thing.
Yeah, 100%. So we'll just back that. Do you have any watches that back time up yet?
No, not yet, but that would be fun.
That's the next idea.
Did you see the way he looked at that? He looked like he's trying to figure it out.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
Yeah, Rats needs a few more Ferraris to work on, he says.
Yeah, well, hopefully you'll be busy tomorrow working on one.
Here's where we currently sit. We currently sit at 67 comments.
That's
Let's
nothing.
bump this. Let's go. Let's
Ask
go.
questions. You have a wealth of information. Do you actually want to tell anybody where you work today?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I work for Meta, previously known as Facebook.
Yep.
We have a large facility in Fort Worth that houses all the pictures that the grandmas love seeing of their grandchildren and all those, and support all the apps, and working on some super sweet things with Metaverse, right? That's the new hot thing with Oculus, and checking that out and broadcasting NBA games, which is pretty cool, right? You can't pay that $100,000 ticket to be on the floor, but you can put on an Oculus and, you know, be like you're there on the court side. So it's pretty cool, right? So I love doing that and supporting that company. Love that it's huge, but we still act like a startup, right? So ideas come from everywhere. It's a bottoms-up organization, and we really believe in, you know, trying to stretch what we can do. We believe we're only 1% to where we want to go. So it's a great thing to try to attain to a goal like that.
Yeah, with all the negative things that could come of the brand Meta and of the way it is, I think if we look at this, the amount of good that has come from the creation of Facebook is pretty substantial.
Pretty damn awesome, right? I mean, the platform itself is to bring community together, right? So the unfortunate challenge, or the thing you got to think of, and you probably know this being businessmen, is we create the platform, but how people make use of that can be the challenge, right? Mm-hmm. We don't mean for it to be out there for negative publicity or anything like that. We want to connect folks that have challenges getting internet, right? You look at WhatsApp, you know, we're communicating probably 4 billion messages a day, and these are folks that don't have regular internet, but they have a mobile phone. So they can talk to family members they don't get to see or talk to all the time. We're doing a lot, you know, with the stuff that's going on over there with the war. So super awesome what tech can do for you. But you got to be careful with the platform.
It is unfortunate. I just heard today that one of the things that's happening with social media is you're able to watch this whole thing that's happened in Ukraine in real time, but some of the stuff that's being posted is not even from Ukraine or a war that's happening right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So they're posting up content that's old content from another area of the world and selling it as today's
You're
news.
kidding me.
Yeah.
No.
Some people are posting game footage, video game footage, saying this place just got bombed, whatever. But fortunately there's people out there that recognize what game that is and call them out. But, I mean, people are doing that stuff. I mean, if you believe it, it's
Wow.
The instant gratification of doing things like that is what drives me nuts, right? Because we're trying to do the right thing, but hey, you know, at the end of the day, people out there try to either make a dollar or create fame for themselves. So.
Yeah, in that culture that's been created. I don't know how deep Facebook, social media, right here, right now in our country and our culture, it is one of the most dangerous tools or weapons in our country, which I think gets outside of the realm. What do you guys deal with in Switzerland?
I think the same as here. Absolutely, we have the same possibilities. And I'm amazed what you can do today. Like you said, I did a semester of an MBA in Switzerland last year during COVID, and one class was Oculus actually.
Yeah,
so
awesome.
we all had Oculus. We were at home, and we were having the MBA course virtually.
Yeah.
So we were one day in LA looking at the sea. The other day we were in the mountains in a little chalet. And this was my first experience, let's say, with Metaverse.
Yes.
Maybe, and it was an amazing experience.
It is, man. It is.
I believe in that a lot.
Yeah.
This is the next.
Love the support.
Could I just ask I'm going to ask you a question as an owner of a cigar lounge. We have an owner of a cigar company, and Facebook wants to bring community together. But why do they make decisions on what the community wants to talk about? Now we're obviously talking about cigars, but we tried to run an ad to hire somebody. Okay. But because we had cigars in the name of our business, we weren't allowed to do that. Right. But yet I get an ad that shows me how to roll the perfect joint. And it links to the website in order to buy the device that lets me roll the perfect joint. So why can that go through, but I can't run an ad for to hire somebody?
Right. Yeah. I think, you know, a lot of it is algorithm, right? And what they pick up on cigars and the connotation of what cigar means, most folks don't know, right? Mm-hmm. So you've got some politician that doesn't agree with cigars, hence now we've got some policy that says, oh, cigars aren't allowed or it's deemed as a bad thing. If they knew the culture and things like this that happen around cigars, the discussion, they would get a different vantage.
I think
Well,
so.
and I think that it would give a great opportunity if, like, for instance, our conversation that we had sitting back here, just a video that is, here's what cigars are, here's what the culture is, here's what goes into it. If we were able to promote that, we can help change that. Now, it's difficult because
whatever happens with us, it has to be organic.
100% organic.
And-
so thank you for watching is what we're
Yes,
saying.
absolutely. So it's we get an astronomical number of views, in my opinion, in all of our shows, from an organic perspective. But what could happen if we could promote this, so that people could see that cigars aren't a Swisher Sweet at the gas station. You know, there's that type of, and I realize the industry was attacked by the FDA, and they were insinuating that we are taking this $20 cigar and marketing to kids. It's not happening. Now, do some companies have flavored cigars in pretty purple foil packages and sell them at gas stations?
Regulate them.
Absolutely.
Regulate
that.
Right.
But I'll tell you what, you go to the TPE show, which is a joint show between cigars and the CBD vape world.
Nice joint.
They are marketing to kids, and they're replicating candies that you buy at the grocery store.
Here's what they're
on
doing.
a whole other planet.
That's not what they're doing. They're not replicating. They're taking peach O's, they're taking real candy and spraying it with that. And these are and because they're ahead of the curve, the cigars have been around forever. You know, so
It was the original currency of the United States. Tobacco was.
that's interesting. And it's really, and for us, it is a frustrating side of things because we see what it is. You see what it is. You know what it is all the way through. But it's definitely a frustrating perspective to be honest. This is something that is gratifying. It's something that more people need access to, or at least to see that it's not just the villain in a movie that smokes a cigar, or it's not just the banker who's taken over the world that smokes a cigar. It's us.
That's right.
You know, and it takes a guy who grew up in Italy. It takes a guy who lives in Switzerland. It takes a Mexican. Then it brings us all together.
This cigar brought us all together.
That's right.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
It's
We'll
really
be sitting here.
we always say it. It was never part of our business plan, but we never thought about the people we would meet because of the cigar.
Exactly.
You know, and that to me is worth the price of admission. And it's unfortunate that the masses don't get the opportunity to see that.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
So if you could change that by, I don't know, next Monday,
Yeah.
that would be great. Just take your time.
let me step away so I can go start working on that
just
right
call
now.
Mark. Call Mark.
I don't know if you noticed, but those glasses are Facebook glasses.
These are the stories. Yeah.
Hey,
so,
Mark, here's what we're trying to accomplish.
So yeah,
Tracking everything
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
Sending it back to the
Oh,
man.
Hey Mark, how are you doing?
I saw your boat on Rare TV.
Yeah.
Sorry you can't put it all together.
Jim Trader asking the most obvious question of all. Pablo, are you watching Bahrain?
If I'm watching,
Are you going to watch the Bahrain race?
of course.
Of course.
I mean, I need to, and I love to, of course. And I am really excited to watch the first F1 here at ICC with all of you guys.
You're
Yes.
going to,
There you
right?
go.
I am going to.
But that's not until July that you're going to watch it here.
Yes.
Right?
It looks like. You never know, but it looks like.
And
This
you
is
need
going
to
to be exciting.
get your Switzerland travel booked before so he can come to Austin and see the race in Austin.
Oh yeah, I'll make sure that we knock it out in early October, so that he's able to be here for Austin.
Yeah.
We'll organize something.
That should be like question number 4. Are you into F1? Because we're starting to see F1.
Are you
really
into F1?
blow up.
Yeah, growing up in Italy, that was big, right?
Yeah.
I remember being a kid from Texas who migrated here and went to Italy, and you would see Ferraris and sports cars all over the place, right? It was common. And then, of course, you have the F1, right? Exactly. So I love seeing that we have that in Austin, right? Having that track up there is awesome. And then you go to the concert right afterwards.
Oh yeah.
So it's great. And
Who was it this year? It was
Cool in the Gang.
Hollywood Swingers? No, it was Cool in the Gang.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cool in the Gang.
Yep.
Man, that was a
That was
good show.
great.
God, it's just a life-changing experience. Thank you again, by the way. Just while everyone is watching, they've all heard the story, but thank you, public.
Yes.
That was a life-changing experience. Oh, it was incredible.
It was.
Oh, it was incredible. We can't top that.
No, never. Unless we do it again this year.
Well, I don't know if that's don't start asking for favors.
No, not yet.
Yeah. Oh, so then there's let's put out the question here. Maybe the fourth is, who's your driver? It could be current, it could be past.
Yeah.
Who's your driver?
But somebody's got to be really into F1.
No one in the Haas team is watching right now.
Yeah, but my driver is Mick Schumacher. That's
Yeah.
Before it was his dad, now it's him.
Yeah.
What a
and
nice-
I think
can't go wrong.
Nice
he's gonna grow and he's gonna be good.
How can you be a Schumacher and not be good?
It's a lot of pressure at the same time, you know. If you had a dad like that, but very good.
There's a lot of guys watching Michael Jordan's son play college basketball right now wondering what the hell happened. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so Mick is yours. Do you follow F1?
So the weirdest thing is I used to be into F1 and I haven't been into it lately until now. But back in the day, I don't know if he's still driving. Probably not still driving, but maybe he has family. Fittipaldi?
Oh.
So his grandson is on the Haas team.
Okay.
He's not driving.
How cool
Yeah.
is that?
He's
Yeah.
not-
Perfect.
And when
That's
we
what
were at the funny
Yeah.
little story, and it's in his phone right now. But so Pietro was giving us the tour in the garage, and so he mentions I'm going
Emerson.
to Italy.
Emerson. Fittipaldi.
He says I'm going to Italy, and we where should my dad go? And he's like, oh no, here, take down my number, and I'll make sure you get to the restaurants that Enzo Ferrari ate at, and my grandfather ate at, everything. So he's typing in FITAs, and we walked, and he walks away, and I'm like, that's Fittipaldi. And he's like, who? I'm like, hello, sir, Mario Andretti. Emerson Fittipaldi kicked all their asses.
Yeah.
That's
He's like,
another generation.
yeah. He's like, you're embarrassing me. You're embarrassing me. I was like, oh yeah, because 10 minutes before we're sitting in the Haas tent and it's Gene Haas, it's Gunter Steiner, it's the guys who are
I don't
here.
have any clue who that is.
It's Russell's walking past us. Oh, that's Russell. Oh, that's
Hey,
and
Russ.
all the new guys, and then all of a sudden the first chance of real F1 knowledge, and he's like, you're an embarrassment to me. So Fittipaldi's your driver. Rick, who's your driver?
Come on, man. Your dad said it like Andretti.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, Italy, right? That's what I know.
Yeah.
Right? Those guys ran that country. And so I would have to say Andretti.
Mario
Andretti.
And it sounds like
Andretti is the
Andretti's
man.
coming back to F1.
I've heard that too.
It sounds like he's going to be involved. Who's your driver?
See how-
I mean, Andretti is classic, but Emerson Fittipaldi was the man back in the day. He was the man.
Huh. I'm going.
He won the Indy and F1.
Yeah, I mean that's the Bo Jackson, right?
Yeah.
I'm
yours?
thinking. I would say Sebastian Vettel.
Yeah.
I think
Good guy.
Seb is my
I
guy.
like him.
Nice guy, personable
Yeah.
guy.
Personable.
He sticks around at the end of the Grand Prix to clean up trash. I mean, he rides when all the other drivers come in their Ferraris and Alphas and everything. He rides the bike in. That's a
good for the
guy.
sport.
He's a great ambassador. He's kind of like a Ricardo to me. Just a guy you'd like to have a cigar and a beer with.
Yeah.
But even more so with Seb, I think he is. And as a matter of fact, the first race we went to was in Austin when Seb secured his 4th title.
Right, that's right.
So, and there were still V8s at that time, but he was racing for Red Bull. Oh, and it was, so that was the first race we saw. So,
Did
That
you
was
meet him?
no. When we went with the last one, it was a different world.
Yeah.
I mean, we had a really, really neat experience, but it wasn't like this.
Yeah.
Where I got to bump into George Russell and be standing out there talking with Ale, and then all of a sudden Gunter Steiner comes around and I hang up on him so I can have a conversation. That didn't rear its head.
No.
But this year was a different
Big
situation.
cigar smoker, by the way, as well, huh?
Oh, we know
I don't
that.
want to point him out, but he loves cigars.
I need to send him more cigars. I'll send him more this week. Oh. He is, if we're talking non-drivers, if we're just talking F1 people, Gunter Steiner is the man to me. Gunter is to me more entertaining than any driver.
I totally agree.
He's always 4 seconds away from having a heart attack.
Okay, so Trader is throwing out Senna, which you can't really argue with that. And then
Ayrton Senna, yeah.
now
Yeah.
Chris Coulter's going old school. John Players, that's back in the day when their head was sticking above the windshield.
Wow.
And that's when men were men, because those guys were out in the elements.
They were driving through Monaco with a shifter.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, they were still shifting and clutching and everything with V12s.
Imagine.
Oh, shit.
Imagine that. Head sticking out, shifting, and a clutch pedal in Monaco.
Yeah. Safety was second back then.
Yeah.
Distant second. It was winning, win. Still is, but they put so many safety requirements on
Thank
the car.
God.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think Hamilton would be with us if the Halo wasn't there.
No.
I mean, after this year, that's some wild stuff. And even Haas had that with Grosjean.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We go on.
Oh, what do we got?
Amber alert. Well,
This
it
has
wasn't
got to
us.
be from your side of the country here. Anytime I get this.
It wasn't. We are all innocent.
Do you guys have those?
Alarm, no, but I have it here actually. I get them here.
Oh, wow.
It's
Really?
pretty scary to be honest.
I was sitting there going, what the Sam hell's going on in America?
Should I hide
Jesus.
somewhere? You know?
Who's stealing all these kids?
Who's Amber?
Yeah, who's Amber? I don't remember.
His girlfriend comes over. All right, who's Amber?
Noel Amber is it's an alert we have here.
So I think we established at the beginning of the conversation that we're all meat eaters, right?
Yes.
Talking about barbecue. We have an auxiliary question that we typically ask. How do you like your steak?
Medium rare.
Good answer.
Good answer.
I need to repeat, but yeah, same medium
Yeah.
rare.
I think
Yeah.
we're all on the same page.
Yeah,
Okay.
medium rare.
Medium rare.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, good. That's usually the question that ends this thing pretty quick.
That usually happens.
Yeah,
It can go sideways.
it can go sideways. Yeah.
Yeah, because if somebody
Look
says
at this.
well done,
Amber.
yeah.
Calling me.
Amber's calling you.
No.
No, okay.
No.
Don't take the call. Facebook's has already sent an alert to the police.
That's right. I gotta check my work phone right now. What's going on?
Okay, let me toss this out there. If you guys were to make one change in the world to make it a better place, what would you do? What is that one change you would make? And it's somewhat leading. And if you don't have something, I can hop out and fill some of the open space. But I think of all the things we talk about, the world is maybe heading in one direction or the other, who knows? In my opinion, the one thing that I would change is the 24-hour news cycle. These news cycles that everything has to be breaking news and they have to fill the space and it's 24-hour news and every time you turn on, if you turn on CNN or Fox News or any of it, there's always breaking news. Is there always breaking news? Or are you just trying to sell something?
That's it.
Yeah.
In my opinion, if I were to change anything in the world to make it a better place, I would get rid of the 24-hour news cycle.
The beauty of that, and I consciously, January 1st, one of my New Year's resolutions was not to pay attention to the news. So right now I couldn't tell you who's doing what, where, when, and why. I know there's a war going on, but I used to get wrapped up in it, and it would get me all twisted. It's why we had a no politics, no religion rule here, an unwritten rule that we don't talk about politics or religion because you're not changing anybody's mind. But I just stopped watching it. And I'll tell you what, I feel much better when I don't have anything that just straight up pissed me off.
I understand, and that what I would like to see once a station with positive news, only positive news,
Yeah.
That'd be great.
because the news are always like
It's a Debbie Downer.
yes.
There was
Positive news.
rest in peace, Rush. But Rush Limbaugh used to do a show every year, and the only calls that he would take were from entrepreneurs that started with nothing and got to wherever they're at, and would just let them tell their story. And you would just sit and listen. You would hang on every word, because I think we're numb to bad news. It's all bad, so I'm not even going to listen. But man, I love hearing a story that's positive,
Inspiration.
because it does. It drives you. It drives you to want to try to do.
If you
that.
want good news, Jim from The Office, what's his name? John Krasinski?
Yeah.
He has this show he just calls it the GNN, the Good News Network.
Okay.
And he comes together and it's 10, 12, 15 minutes. But he's curated it, he's cut it, he brings people on, he brings kids on. And it's just 12 minutes that if you watch it, you just go, you know what, world's all right.
Yeah.
You know, and it's all fluff pieces, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Because I think the beauty of the cigar is that it allows us to just go, what's right and wrong in your world?
Yeah.
Let's make it right. And this is just a good reminder of, I graduated from the School of Journalism, and they taught us if it bleeds, it leads.
Yeah.
Right? So that's ingrained into journalism.
Yeah.
And to change that and put that up on its head, to me, is just a cool thing. So if you want 10 minutes to make yourself feel better, check out GNN. It's really cool.
I'll take a look at it.
What would you guys change if you were to change one thing about the world that would make it a better place?
You know, I would tell you, we went through an exercise over the holidays, and so my answer, one word, would be ignorance. And why I say that is, the exercise I took my team through, and I had an HR person in there, was we talked about just to be safe.
Yeah, you pussies.
And 7 legal guys behind the mirror.
Yeah.
It was about what our different families did over the holidays. And what was great about that is you had a group that looked like us, a female or two in there, some folks from India, and the common bond that we had around what we did around the holidays was crazy. For someone to say they like sweet potatoes during Thanksgiving was totally something that I thought my culture brought. This is a young lady from India that likes sweet potatoes, and then a Caucasian male like, we do sweet potatoes.
That's how we do sweet potato
Right.
casserole.
And it's like,
Yeah.
you do it? Oh, what? Brown sugar butter? Yeah. So that, and it's like the ignorance that we have, that we're so special and no one's like us. It's not really that true. We share so many commonalities that we don't talk about, right? So that ignorance that is there, that we think because of the way someone looks or where you think someone's from, drives us to create a narrative that's totally false. So I would love to get rid of ignorance, open people up to go, yeah, you know what? Me and that guy, we share some common bonds that we could connect on, going back to the good news story. And so we're driving something positive, less
like
than
that.
the negative.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Adrian, what would you do?
Yeah, I can't beat that. I mean, I'll go with the unpopular opinion of providing everyone with a gun, with training. So here's your firearm, here's a week's worth of training, and I think that'll change. That would definitely change the aspect of how people think of what actions are going to take when they're driving, when they're visiting a store, someone coming into, break into an establishment or your home. I think all that would probably go away.
I think you're exactly right. I mean, the one thing when I was training was, you don't fear the meanest guy in the bar, you fear the guy who's always smiling.
Yeah.
Because the guy who's always smiling can take care of his shit. And he knows his way out. And if things go wrong, he's got himself taken care of. And I think the beauty of a well-trained armed citizenry is very, very valuable. Of just understanding. The understanding through the LTC courses, you do not present an arm unless you are ready to take someone's life. So you know the ultimate sacrifice is there.
Yeah.
But you're not going to do it. You're going to talk yourself out. You don't just pull out a gun
It's not your
to
first
intimidate.
option.
Right.
Yeah.
You talk yourself. You win 100% of the fights you're not in. And having that, you know what? I'm with you. I like
Yeah,
that a
on the
lot.
opposite side of that, if I'm a criminal and I'm gonna, commit a crime, whether it be road rage or something, that's the second thought now, because that guy's armed, and it could be not just a 380, it could have, an AR-15 with him. I'm gonna have second thoughts about it.
It's
What I'm
it's
gonna
something
do.
it's something that we see people with California plates not driving like that.
work.
People are armed.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it worked for the nuclear race. People shut down for that. But once everybody said, "Well, you got 300 nukes?
Oh, you got nukes?
Yeah.
All right, you're armed."
Yeah. What would you change?
It's a
good question. I told you about the positive news. I think that's important, and in general, I don't know. Make love, not war.
says John.
Yeah.
So can I throw one out there?
Yeah, please.
So I think you're a relatively new father because you have 3 kids. You have a 5-year-old. I think that, and I don't know what the forum is. I'm just pulling this out of my ass, but I would, whether it's like a networking type event, but I think that fathers raising their kids is critical. I think too many mothers raise their kids and they do a great job, but in some cases are the only ones. And I think fathers would like to know some ideas on ways to raise their kids. And I think you see networking guys get together and talk about their businesses and how that helps them advance. Mm-hmm. But I think if you had 10 guys in here that are dads with 1-year-olds to 20-year-olds, if they could sit around and talk about what worked and what didn't, I think overall this next generation would be in a better place if they knew that their dads were wanted to learn how to do it. Because I think so many, if a dad grew up, if somebody that's 60 grew up and the only thing they knew about being raised was go get a switch, you screwed up. Yeah. If that's then that they're just going to carry that forward. Yeah. But are there ways to be a dad? I think being a dad's the most important job in the world, and I think that there's a lot of dads out there that maybe don't have the skill set, or they're going off of what they were taught before, whether that was right, wrong, or indifferent. So
I'll add to that and throw in a belt or a chancla and a couple pussies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I mean, you got it. And calling your kid a pussy. Yeah. No, that's okay.
In the huddle with 10 other kids. Yeah.
But I think you're exactly right. I mean, I think. Now, with that said, I think this next generation, I have a ton of hope for, because I think there is a generation of where it's slacked and there's this obvious disrespect, but kids who grew up like me, there is still, maybe our parents didn't beat us. I mean, you never hit us as kids. We always feared you like you would kick our ass. Uh-huh. But I think it's coming around. And case in point, this just happened. Brian Baldwin was walking in and he said, I saw these kids come out, and the kids, there was a whole group of kids that came in, and Cameron said, are you 21? And I said, no. He said, well, it's actually you. And the kids left, and he kind of joked about it. And the kids left, and he said, I came in, and he said, are you 21, blah, 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 and he regurgitated. He said, yeah, he's kind of dick. But, he's pretty funny. He's a pretty cool guy, though. Yeah. And so I think there is that element of respect coming through. I think there was maybe a short span of people who were maybe weak parents and didn't know how to deal with new technology who came in. But I think people who grew up in my generation understand the advantages and disadvantages of technology and will usher in a respectful, I think a respectful but not abusive, I think, generation of parents.
Leadership, right? I think about it, and maybe because that's my role, there's this thing that people are scared to lead because they're scared about what someone might think of them. But the lasting effect of that and how you can coach that person you may or may not know can help them so much, right? And so just having the courage, that's why I call it leadership courage, to say something and try to be an act. And you may establish a bond, you may not, but those kids, they're smarter than we are. Like the kids that are here today have more access to information, and the technology is a huge part of that. So it's all at their hands, and they just need someone to guide them, right? Mm-hmm. So, when I look at today's leaders or the up-and-coming leaders, it's like, God damn, you end up, what's the lesser evil, right? None of them are really good, but I'm going to pick the lesser evil because I think there's a lack of leadership, and I think we could use some more of that. Some of that old school, hey, you're a pussy. So what you call me a pussy? I'm going to prove you wrong and show you I'm not. We're missing that, or at least in my experience, we're missing that.
And one thing that I think I'm most excited about for our generation is, for our generation, everyone's sitting at the table, we have to tackle this issue of race, right? We have to accept it, we have to understand it, and we have to move forward past it. But for my child's generation, for Alessia and Elias who are in school, they don't know any different. And the conversation that we had is not, let's look at the race. And no. Everyone's the same. Everyone's the same. It doesn't matter. It's just a matter of where they're from. This means nothing. Right. This means everything. Mm-hmm. And I think where we're going, I'm excited for a time where we don't have to pinpoint, where we have to have 2 women and 4 black guys and a Mexican. And I look forward to a time when it's just, okay, for my kids, maybe not in my lifetime, but maybe for my kids or grandkids, no one cares. I think that's the beauty of cigars. No one cares. We're not in a multicultural environment, but ultimately, that brings me back to why we smoke cigars.
There you go.
I could give a shit what you look like.
Okay.
And I think everyone is in the same boat. Yeah. So talk to Mark and have him make it cool for us to advertise what we're saying. What are you seeing across the pond? What's the culture like in Switzerland? What are some of the things that you guys are doing right, maybe that we're doing wrong? What are some things that we can learn from? Aside from getting into every war we can.
We got enough time for that? Or?
It's a good question. I have to think about this. I think we have to take the good from each other and see what you guys are doing good and what we are. And what I'm inspired by the US is like how you guys are business minded. I think we lack that a little bit. We have different things, family, culture, and so on. But what I like here, you're a young country, but very successful in a very short period. Mm-hmm. That comes that you're business minded, and straight to the goal. Mm-hmm. And that's something I take from this country. And that's what I like when I travel here, when I do business here. It's that business mindset.
Yeah. What's your least favorite thing about the States?
Fast food.
You have no fast food? You guys have no fast food?
Yeah.
That's valid.
Well, shit, they don't eat lunch till like 6 o'clock at night. So I mean, they're in no hurry. Dinner lasts 4 hours, starts at 10 o'clock. They're in no hurry.
You think you're going to say poo on that, but
I know just in just spending time with Ali's family and when we were in Mexico, it's like we're going out to dinner at 10. Yeah. I mean, I'm toes up at 10 o'clock, but no, that's when it starts, and nobody's in a hurry to leave.
No,
that's
something I wish we would bring more of.
I think the food culture is different.
Absolutely.
It is true. Yeah. It's much more important for us than for you, I think, and it's an event. If you eat, it's an event. You stay, you talk, and here it's okay too, but it's like a necessity. You eat, check, you leave. And that's different, I would say.
We make all food fast, whether it's a big dinner or it's drive-through. It's always fast.
Well, it's a business mindset, right? In the restaurant business, it's turns. Mm-hmm. How many tables can you turn? You're exactly right, and it's something you're gonna fall in love with when you go over there. It's just this, like the raclette, right? You sit with. You guys know? Have you tried a raclette? It's something that you share. It's this basic. You have these little cheese trays that sit underneath there, and then on top you have a griddle top, and it takes for fucking ever, right? But you're sitting there and you're conversating, and everyone's kind of checking their cheese together, and everyone's how's the sausage doing, and it's all on bread that our bread lasts 6 weeks here, right? Their bread lasts 6 hours. So someone went and got the bread, and it's this whole experience that takes hours and hours to go through. You drink some red wine. I wish we had more of that in the States, to be honest.
Yeah. No,
I mean,
s'mores though. I like that. Yeah.
We do have s'mores.
I bet you guys made s'mores the other night.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I went and bought s'mores.
Yeah.
Our bread might last six weeks, but I'm telling you.
No, we don't.
If you come to the house.
S'mores.
So I called Pablo. I had 2 questions. One, is there anything we can do for when you're here? And the second was, you come to the house so we can make s'mores. And all I heard in the background was Wydra. S'mores. S'mores. That answers that question. Yeah, cheers on that.
Yeah.
But to me, it's very similar, right? We're just sitting, breaking bread, smoking cigars.
Yeah, at your place it's pretty similar. It's like at home.
Really?
Yeah.
Thank you for saying that. That's I mean, you always have a home there. I mean, that goes for everybody. No, that's special. And to your point, you talk about WhatsApp. You talk about Meta. To me, I see the power in it because I communicate with Pablo in WhatsApp, and I communicate with you and Noelle, your girlfriend, through WhatsApp.
Yeah.
And they send me which I still have the video, you saying happy birthday to me, you know, in the Swiss Alps with cows with the cowbells on, you know, and so you look at these things and I feel, I've never actually met his girlfriend, but I feel like we've met.
Yeah.
The beauty that our world is now connected.
Yeah. No, it's great. I mean, you know, and that's what it should be about. Is that connection that we all can share. It's not hard. That's the thing, right? We make things challenging, but just getting along with folks and talking and sharing stories like this, it's easy. That's the easy part.
But this changes the world.
It can.
Yeah.
This changes the world.
It can. I mean, get curious about something that you're not familiar with, and you'll be a better person at the end of the conversation. I truly believe that. Like, get familiar. You'll learn something from someone else. You know, get away from, oh, I'm better than that person, or my country's better. No, you're not. Not necessarily. You might do things better, but I'm sure there's things that they do better than you that you can learn from. You know what I mean? So that is the great thing of a Meta and all the other companies that help with that. So, you know.
What are some things that you guys have learned recently, or some things that maybe you became very uncomfortable with because you wanted to try something new?
Yeah, you know, it's interesting, right? Being my age, I'm not huge on social, right? You know, I don't post a lot. I've never been, right? I mean, I remember he used to tease me about tags. Yeah, and I was like, I didn't tag shit.
And his friend's a huge influencer.
Yes. But, you know, it wasn't anything that I was super into. It might be my cyber background, so I was a little more closed-minded. But I had to open myself up to understand, not only for my benefit, but for my children's benefit, to understand what's the new phenomenon. When I think about rap music when I was growing up, my dad was totally against rap music. Right? Oh, it's a fad. It's going to go away. That's stupid. And da-da-da-da. Still here today, but it's the same thing like with social. Like, I didn't understand it, but my girls were on it. It's like, what the hell is this social? And don't talk to anybody, you know, don't tell them your name or anything.
Stranger danger.
Stranger danger. But, you know, and there is some of that in it, but it's much less than what's out there. So getting comfortable with social and what the positive aspect of it, and then understanding, and, you know, look, we talked about parenting a little bit, and being a part of that life for your family, and understanding that, hey, this is what your kids are involved in. You got to understand that, right? Don't let them just go out there, have that conversation, right? Learn a little bit about it, and you both will grow. Because at the end of the day, we just got to continue to grow, right? That's how I look at it. Everything, my folks probably get tired of hearing me say this at the data center, but I talk about it's all a learning experiment. It's all an experiment to try to learn something new and get better. If we're not doing that, then we're stale and you die. Right? It's like exercise. If you're not exercising, your body's dying. Whether you know it or not, your body's dying. You gotta exercise. Same thing with your mind, same thing with your family. So I try to bring that in context with them and just make it relevant. Yeah.
Adrian, what's the last thing that you've stepped out of your comfort zone for?
I don't recall. I love experiences. I love challenges. So I don't recall. But to add to Rick, the moment I learned that he worked for Facebook, Meta, I was like, now you have to get a Facebook page, motherfucker. Yeah. And now you can see what it's all about, the social stuff, and so you understand the way.
Absolutely.
It is.
Yeah.
Pops, I'm curious about you.
Well, I mean, it was a pretty big step to move to Texas and get in the oil business when all I knew how to do was smell oil, and get down here and do that. And I think that, and now we own multiple businesses and we have all these other things going. But if at your core you have a desire to take on a challenge and to do it, I knew that I had. You take what you learn over all these years on the path that you take, and then you apply that to wherever you're at. But as long as you're committed to getting the rest of the way there, that 10,000 hours, that effort that you have to put into it to become fluent at that task, and then you do something else. I mean, I got to a point where I became fluent in the oil business. And I'm still in that business, but you get to that point, and then we backed up and said, let's take on the challenge of being a cigar retailer.
Right.
And then let's, as we've seen even with just stories that have been written on us, now add the family dynamic to a business. We had to learn how to be in business as a family, still be professionals, but still be respectful of family. So I think all of those are challenges, but in every step I've taken, I've had the desire. And I think that's the one thing that I think I'd like to see more people have is the desire to take on a challenge and just see it through. You may not be successful, but goddamn, try. I get frustrated. I don't do lazy well, and I think that if I see people that are just waiting for things to come to them, it's just never going to happen.
Right.
It just doesn't. As much as you want to think, it's not. Set your ego aside and go out and take something on. Be prepared to lose. Because there's a lot of character that comes out of losing.
Yeah.
Well said.
What do you think, Pablo? What's the last challenge that you've been
Totally
put in?
agree. I mean, I learn every day,
He went to the Dominican.
Yeah.
I mean, here's a guy that's a surgeon in Brazil, comes up to Switzerland, and then goes and lives in the DR. That's
I think,
culture.
follow your dream and have your goals and stick on it and learn how to lose and continue. Learn every day, because if you stop learning, you're dead. I think that's important. And the second thing, go with the time. Otherwise the time goes with you. So it's important to be ahead of things.
What about you?
I learned my last challenge was about a week ago, and that was
Still open wound, huh?
Well, no, I mean it was brilliant. I mean we were faced with a challenge where we could have. I don't have much time off, as none of us do, but we had an opportunity when all flights were grounded because of ice to just stay at home and not go on a vacation and piss it all away. And we just went to the mountains. We just got in the car and drove and took 3 kids, 5 and under, my wife, 14 and a half hours, and
says a lot about you.
teach. Well, thank you for saying that. But it's. I got to teach my daughter how to snowboard, and I got to learn how to lead my daughter, because I could. It's not like leading a son. If you would have led me, you would have said, "Get up," and that's the way I'm wired.
Yeah.
So I said, "If you don't get off your back foot, you're never going to learn how to snowboard." And that was the end of that session. And I realized, okay, let's do it different. Okay. Let's try it this way. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to put in the spotlight. And I'm going to ask the guy who's on the lift right there, check this out. And she lit up. So I learned how to be a better dad.
Yeah.
I learned how to lead my kids. I learned how to be a better father, a better husband.
But none of that would have happened if you didn't have the desire to get there.
100%.
You were faced. It would have been real easy just to go. Let's be iced in like everybody else.
Well, it comes down to the point of: do you want to be a Nebraskan and settle for bullshit and be okay with it and get fat and wait to die, or you want to get out of there and be the person you want to be?
Yeah.
And I surrounded myself with the right people. I married the right wife. Where she looked at me and I looked at her and she said, "Let's drive it." I said, "I don't know if you understand what that means." But she said, "Let's drive it."
So it was
I
her.
said, it was her idea.
Yeah.
And I said, "Let's go." And it created a memory that we'll never forget.
Yeah.
And to that point, I learned what it took to be a dad. In that moment, I'm still learning how to be a dad, but I know the fight of, I'm not going to give up for my family. I'm going to give them an experience that Alessia, Elias, Leah, they're too young to understand what went into that.
Right.
But Ale knows, and I know.
She'll teach me.
And when we had the opportunity where I could drop them off on a flight so they could get home in 2 hours, and I drove the rest of the 14 hours by myself, I knew what that meant. And there was solace driving through the north of New Mexico, just going, this is what a good dad does.
I had sent Brandon a text and said, maybe you ought to think about throwing them on a plane and driving back by yourself.
And it was your idea.
And
It was
then
his
I didn't.
idea.
There was no response to the text. And then he said, "I'm throwing him on a plane and I'm coming back." And I told my wife that, and she's going, "He doesn't want to drive back by himself." I go, "I'm a dad.
Yeah.
I can tell you,
Yeah.
12 hours of just staring out the front windshield sometimes is the best
The reflection.
thing you can have."
But ultimately, at the end of the day, the biggest learning is if you surround yourself with the right people, they'll put you in the right situation to be the right person. And Ale said, let's drive. And Pops, 3 hours before the flight, said, what if you flew him home? And it's just like this business. I don't come up with the ideas. I just facilitate them.
There you go. Yeah.
And
You just do it. You just take an idea this big and make it bigger than we ever thought it was possible.
but you have to execute, right? And with that, ultimately, it was your idea to fly him home. Thankfully, it all worked out. And it was just, so my big question coming back is like what we've learned together. It's just, it comes all the way back so weird to cigars, right? It's, you've got to surround yourself. Because as I'm sitting out in Denver, which I almost moved out to with a previous girlfriend, but they got him in, we wouldn't have had the cigar lounge. We wouldn't have been surrounded by this environment. And it's, I owe my livelihood to cigars. It's what feeds my family.
Cheers.
It's what, truly.
But
Cheers to
what's
all of
cool, and think about this, is kind of what we were talking about earlier, which wouldn't it be cool if there was a
Cheers.
place where you have that, where, what if there's 10, now maybe there's 10 other dads on here that could hear, if you had 10 other men that were sitting here that could go, you know what, the next time I get the opportunity, I'm fucking driving. I'm not going to let the airlines tell me I can't go.
Yeah.
You know, and that's
Great point, man. We did the same thing before my son was born. We road tripped it during spring break through to Vegas, and we stopped in Arizona, did the Grand Canyon, and the experience of that, right? My oldest daughter got sick from Olive Garden food poisoning, but the carrying of her during that time and everything else, and then getting to the Grand Canyon and looking over this majestic view. I mean, it's unbelievable.
How old's your daughter now?
She's 25.
So you put your daughter down and you never picked her up again.
Yeah.
But in that time, you had her in your arms.
Yeah, but I can remember it like it was yesterday. That experience, and that's what it's about. Because they remember, I remember, and having more of those, less of that instant gratification and going through some trials and tribulations, man, that's what makes the family, man. Those are the things that you remember.
what makes them stronger.
Yeah, exactly.
It's something that I'm truly excited for you and Noel. If and when you have kids, you're just gonna make a tremendous father. I mean, you just knowing you as a if you need help, I know how it works.
He's practicing right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you're in pre-practice one. Maybe qualifying now, but no, you're just gonna make a tremendous father. I have the best father you could ask for, and it's just everyone sitting at this table. I think is. I think we all appreciate ourselves and who we are and who we sit by.
Yep, absolutely. I think we got to end it on that. We can't. Go
I could do this for like 2 or 3 more hours.
We can't climb any higher.
Yeah, we could.
Yeah.
I appreciate y'all inviting me, man. This was great. I didn't know what to expect. It was kind of last minute, but this has
Same
been
for
like
me.
it.
I walked in and Brandon said, "We're having a podcast. You want to do it?"
Absolutely.
That's it. So make sure to catch us. You know where to find us. We'll be here.
Yep. Thursday night, Size Matters. Tomorrow night, right? You have your
Lead and Leaf tomorrow.
Lead and Leaf tomorrow. Size Matters on Thursday. Of course, Saturday at the shop. We usually bring down the entire internet at that point.
That's it.
Yeah.
Industrial Cigar Company rocks. Let's go.
That's it. That's it.
I'll end on
That's
that.
our sign off right there.
And
Yeah.
this is a great stick. Y'all got to try it.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Thank you.
Great
Yeah, they're about 6
Thank
left,
you.
so don't mess around. Peace out.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Good work, boys.
That's
Good shit, fellas.